Don't go anywhere. You're listening to BeefBoys. Please don't leave. Select your character. Doplex and feature Keep stitches. How will you order? Kilo.
Can we talk about Katy Perry for 2 minutes?
Space bitches? I'd like to talk about space bitches.
I believe it's how good her choreography is at her new World Tour Butterfly Tour.
Oh, that too, dude.
She's so fucking weird.
She's kind of like the most famous lolcow I can think of right now. She's approaching Christian levels of like just cut your losses.
I'd say her and Kanye West are like on
they're competing.
opposite sides
they're
of
battling
that
it out.
Actually, yeah, they're kind of both like going about losing their riz, but in different ways. Katie's trying to do like the full corpo, like I'm just going to do everything that my managers say.
I'm gonna go to space.
We're going to hire a PR company. We're going to work on my image. And then Kanye West is like, what if I just tweet out every slur?
That's what Kanye'd be like.
Kanye's taking it down a bit of a different route.
Wait, did he say that?
It's in his new song, yeah. He talks about him and his cousin finding porn or something and then reenacting what they saw.
Yeah, and he randomly just like tweeted.
Okay.
Yeah, he randomly just like tweeted the other day. He's like, I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14 or something like that. Which is just a wild thing to admit, just on a
which is kind of the
platform.
He's been dropping some.
Imagine if he covered Macklemore's fucking. When I was in the 3rd grade, I was sucking my cousin's dick. So I guess I'm gay.
I mean, you know, how do you not turn into Hitler? You know?
That is true. You know, the signs were there.
Your cousin makes you suck his dick.
Yep.
And not just suck his dick. Your cousin makes you gawk you like fucking Riley Reid or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's not just like it's like you're deep throating that shit at 12.
He's not going in for a taste.
Damn.
Bro's fucking going to completion.
Come on now, look at the
brutal.
pictures. This bitch crying. Why aren't you crying?
Well, anyway, let's talk about Katy Perry some more. I've been very enthralled in her kind of downfall. It started with that fucking she released that shitty Women's World song with Dr. Rapist. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
She works with Dr. Luke, who's
Lipschitz.
like the guy who got fucking, I think he was convicted, right, for like sexually abusing Kesha, which is like kind of why Kesha just disappeared. Is that
yeah.
she had like a record deal with this company that she couldn't get out of until she put out like 2 more albums, but like the guy in charge of producing it was the guy who sexually assaulted her, so she's like, well, obviously I don't want to fucking do that. So that's why she
If you're
just
getting sexually assaulted by a guy that calls himself Dr. Luke, you should probably.
What's the name
figure
Dr.
that
Luke?
out.
Very pesty.
Sounds
Not a good
one. Very
What were
pesty.
you thinking? What were you thinking, Kesha?
What were they thinking?
Yeah, but anyway, so,
You should have seen it coming.
so after that, Katy Perry's like, well, let me make a fucking 2014 Hillary Clinton women's empowerment song, but in collaboration with the rapist. And then the music video for it is all her like, it's
Go
like all,
to the polls.
all her fucking, the music video for it is just her with a bunch of like women in scantily clad outfits dancing around. And
Oh,
it's
is that
like,
the one where they were like scissoring and like rubbing their pussies together?
No, that was something
Baby,
you downloaded.
you're a pervert.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Anyway.
No, I swear there was like there was a thing. It was her and
It's the one where they're in like
I forget the
construction
other-
outfits and shit, and it's like it's a women's
Oh,
world.
yeah,
and
you know-
they're like
I think I'm thinking of when they did it live and they
I
were
don't
like
want to
rubbing
say
their
what
pussies
kind of
together on
doctor
stage.
it was.
it was a
It was
rapist.
a
rapist
doctor.
doctor.
It was a rapist.
We'll tie it back into Kanye. Bring it all home.
I don't want to
Yeah,
say I had
full
a
circle.
sexual. Wait, hold on, I can do this. I don't want to say
I
I don't want to say what kind of dick
experience
it was.
I had with my cousin.
It was
But
a
it was a
cousin's
sexual
dick.
It was a dick.
experience.
It was a dick sucking.
It was a
It's
gay
like-
experience.
It was a gay experience. It was a Jew experience. Just
Go
a
back
It was
to
a
the-
the
Jew
classic
catches
Jewish
strays.
experience, sucking your cousin's dick.
He blames his cousin on being Jewish, and that's why he's.
Yeah.
There's got to be some lizard thing going on with like woman's empowerment song is going to be about like women just being just like stripping naked and scissoring each other in public, right?
Yeah.
You know,
don't know.
there's got to be some like overlord, like destroy the fabric of society kind of thing going on there.
Well, I feel like it's almost like a round 3 type beat, because like I feel like that's happened in the past, and then it kind of like circled back to like we're gonna be fucking trad wives but not wear bras, and that now it's like, well, I want to show my vagina.
That's a
again.
very small
Yeah.
subsect of weird people on the internet. But yeah, I know what you're saying though.
But
It is funny.
I'm
like,
overgeneralizing, but
I think
I don't tie
she's
it into any of that stuff.
massively. She's
Yeah.
massively just like like this is shit people were doing 10 years ago. Like again, this is like such
Well, she's
fucking
just really stupid.
yeah.
very stupid, incredibly out of touch, and I think that
Didn't she like
woman.
sexually assault the dude on The Voice that one time? You guys remember that? Where it's like, it was a very outwardly Christian conservative country guy that made country music, and he was on The Voice, and he was like freshly like 18, and he had a really
she,
deep
like,
voice,
kissed
and
him,
he's
right?
Engaged.
and he like he was like openly talking about his girlfriend or something, and he sang a song so good that Katy Perry was like, "Oh, I just can't help myself," and like sprinted onto the stage and grabbed him while he's trying to pull away, and like started kissing him and shit.
Put his whole head.
She's
up
like,
his
she was like 40.
Which is crazy.
it's not that Justin
Like-
Bieber shit where they were like,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that is like lizard overlord shit, where it's just like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's this little step beyond just like celebrity, right? It's like you live in this world where you're not used to not like
being
getting your
told
way.
no.
getting
Yeah.
access to people.
You're going to
you know what I
going to
mean?
Diddy
Yeah.
parties and they're lining up spread assholes and saying take your pick, and then all of a sudden you're into just fucking go back to normal life where you can't do that to everyone.
Yeah, and then it's like not even normal. Like she does. Like it's not like you even just fuck the ass. Like she spreads her ass and then shits her shit into the
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Shits her
And then
shit.
they split
and
the
it's
shit.
medical.
And it's medical.
Yeah, they've got Dr. Luke's there checking her vitals.
And then they film
Yeah,
it and they
he's got
send it
his
to
gloves
Dr.
on.
Luke.
Yeah.
And then
send
Dr.
him
Luke
stool
makes a
samples.
beat out of the sounds of the squish.
Like Jerry did with your fart. I was thinking about that
Exactly.
song
Yeah,
yesterday. How good that was.
Yeah.
I just ate a beef
I
and
just
cheese
ate a bean and
burrito.
cheese
Jerry's
burrito.
So good.
It is a
So then
Yeah.
dear Catherine Perry went on to fucking... I love the her going to space thing. That was so funny because again, it was like phase 2 on improving her reputation, her image. She's like, we're gonna make
Yeah.
a female empowerment space trip where me and a bunch of women go to space, bankrolled by Jeffrey Bezos, and then she goes
Yeah,
and
well,
do an
do-
album announcement.
Yeah, she does. She
Yeah.
announces her
Yeah,
tour
on-
dates or something. Like holds up, and she has that photo
Like
of her
holding
holding
up-
like
yeah,
a
that was the
dandelion.
thing that fucked it up to me the most.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no,
Did
this
they
is
actually
all
go to
PR.
space?
They like,
or was it?
like an
it seemed like they
old
just kind of
thing.
went in the sky for a bit. Like,
They
No,
like-
it's
they
not
like
just in the
went
sky.
just-
They do this thing where they fly a space shuttle up outside of Earth's orbit, but enough where gravity still pulls them back down slowly, and
Yeah.
then or like
like a
slowly at
slingshot.
first, and then on the descent they descend at like a speed that is set that gives you like exact like zero gravity. You know,
right.
and then they do that for like they can maintain that for like 5 minutes, and then it's kind of just like they like fly back down.
You essentially get to experience
Or
zero
in their
gravity
thing, they-
and see a cool horizon.
Yeah,
shot.
you
Right.
yeah, exactly. But you can you're still far enough away from the Earth where you can see the entire Earth, like you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
I think they're probably like that group of people probably made like 60 people in the history of like our entire species, and from what we know, intelligent beings in the entire known universe who have ever seen a fucking planet from that place, you know? And she like, to me it was such a perfect analogy for like the way that, like that the internet has destroyed the human brain and like consumerism and everything, because it's like she was bored of that view in like 30 seconds because she's so used to like shitting into people's open gaping assholes and like you know like
At Diddy parties.
kissing children against their will. So like
Yeah.
she was
Where's the
bored by the
child I can
sight of the
kiss?
earth, like the fucking mother of life in the known
Yeah.
universe. She was bored by that in 30 seconds to the point where she was like, all right, now I'm going to draw my set list on a little piece of butterfly notepaper, and then I'm gonna hold it up to a camera and like eat a dandelion and like show my tits off.
Yeah,
That's enough Earth for me.
That's another
time to show my new songs.
I'm bored.
It's crazy.
I don't even know if she
Yeah.
got bored of it necessarily, but it's just that she had that obligation of like, oh right, no, the real reason I'm up here is so that I can fucking hold up my set list in front of the camera so we can make this a cool
But
PR.
you would think
Which
that
is just as
experience
bad.
could trump that even.
Yeah,
like,
no,
even if you
exactly.
go up there
Right.
thinking that, it's like, because there is a shot of her looking out the window and going like,
I would literally have just been like,
and
I
then
don't
5
care.
seconds later, it's her holding her stupid little fucking,
And
you know,
Yeah.
that
high
photo
on
of her
fucking MDMA, fucking holding her stupid butterfly.
holding like the dandelion too, like you could just tell she was like, this is going to be one of those like ground landmark
I'm
moments.
a
People are going to look
girl.
back at this as like, this is the photo of the year, Katy Perry in space with
Yeah.
a dandelion.
Yeah, this is gonna end up on Time magazine.
Yeah.
It probably
Do
will end up
people
on Time
still-
magazine.
It
'cause-
probably will. I think
Do
the thing
people
that
still
pissed
even
off a
fuck with
lot
her?
of people was that all of them were like, we're not taking up space, we're creating space, or something like that. Like, women in space is important. And people are like,
yeah.
dude,
As if like women have never been
yeah,
to
women
space.
have been pushing NASA and like the space
There's been
race since
women
the
astronauts
beginning.
for
We've had
ages.
women in this bitch.
And
We
they're
didn't
currently-
need you to take a
Bro,
billionaire's
we sent monkeys to space.
Our current
amusement park
regime
ride.
is like going out of their way to erase the history of women in NASA so that men can feel more proud of themselves looking back in the past. Like literally are going out of their way to just like delete the idea of women.
Yeah, well,
especially
I know.
black women in NASA, but it's like,
Yeah.
well, at least these ones went to
There's
space.
Katy Perry
They
went
actually
up
did an
there.
experiment where they show what 90% being made of plastic looks like when it hits zero gravity.
It turns out,
Honestly, if they
Not-
promoted
not
it
much
like
difference.
that, if they
don't look
promoted it like
weird.
that and like leaned into just how fucked all the women on there looked, like I think that would probably, you know, at least do something for the fucking public zeitgeist.
it was funny
Dude,
hearing
my-
Gayle King say, "Have you ever been?" Because they got criticized. She was like, "Have you ever been to space?" It's like, motherfucker, no. That's why
That's the
everybody
point.
is. That's why where everyone's yelling at you.
That was the other thing is like, in a time of incredible wealth inequality when like people are struggling to pay their bills, no one wants to see some rich bitch who hasn't had to fucking, you know, work. Well, sorry, she works hard, but like she hasn't had to like really struggle financially for like 20 years now. So to see her go up there and be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, and come back down and like kiss the earth and be like, it's all about the earth, it's all about environmentalism and everything. That's
This was a blessing.
you just went in a billionaire's special fucking celebrity jack-off machine that sends you into space. And,
looks like
and now
giant
you're coming
cock.
and be like, we need to care for each other. Like, it's like, what's this?
Speaking of celebrity jack-off
Yes.
machine,
Goon
it
pod.
very much gave me the vibe of you guys know that story that hit like a couple years ago where it's like, how do all of these Instagram models with like 200,000 followers afford to go to Dubai like 3 times a year?
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
basically that they get flown out there by like trillionaire Arabs, you know, that
yeah.
like Saudi princes and shit that basically fly them out, play for their whole stay, and like give them $1 million specifically to fulfill their fetish of shitting in people's mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I knew a chick like that. I literally knew a chick who did
Yeah.
that.
So to me, the vibe I got was they went up in that spaceship and they were like fucking harvested or some shit for like Jeff
Shitting in
Bezos'
alien
personal
mouths.
goon
Yeah.
machine. Like they were like studied for the data to create his
full
ultra
3D
goon machine.
scanner.
You ever seen him with his Doc Ock
Kojima
arms that
scanner.
he's like he's
What
he's
the
like
fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
he's
That
been
video's so
investing
funny.
in this thing like for years that like is creating like these robo arms that can fucking like listen to your skull and fucking like, but they're
Listen to
basically
your
Doc
heart.
Ock shit. So it's like I feel like he's just like creating the ultimate like gooner coffin or some shit to keep him alive until they can revive him in like 50 years.
Octopus.
And he was basically like, all right, if you come on my ship and get butt naked and get probed by all these robots and shit so I can goon to you for the next 50 years.
We'll cut the cameras. We'll cut the cameras. I promise.
While I chill in the adrenochrome goo, then I'll
Katy
bring you to
Perry-
space and you can promote your stupid fucking gay music tour.
See, I would accept that as a theory if Katy Perry was like a 6-year-old girl. Then maybe.
Katy Perry, it's very
Yeah,
important that we
checks
see
out.
how much your anus dilates. It's part of all astronauts have to do this.
us
It's
your
a safety
firstborn.
thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like legitimately, I mean, it's still like kind of a waste of money regardless, but like a more wholesome story would be if they had sent like fucking Make-A-Wish kids up there.
Yeah,
Well, there was
that'd be
just like-
They
cool.
tried
Yeah,
that in
can
like
you
the 80s
imagine,
and then
like-
it exploded and they all died.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fucking-
that's
really?
true. That shit did go boom.
Emily was telling me about, like, apparently one of the women who was on it was like was this woman who was like studying to be an astronaut, and then I think was like sexually assaulted and like dropped out of everything, and it was like this whole, like, really sad story about this woman who was like studying to be like an astronaut or work in that field, and then was like sexually assaulted and like dropped out, and like, it was this really sad sort of thing, that this very long kind of thing about her like dealing with this, and then eventually like getting back into this field of astronautical
Yeah.
rocket science, whatever the fuck, I can't remember. And then she got sent into space, which is like this amazing, like, wow, what a fucking crazy.
Oh, so it was a good thing.
Well, it was.
Shout
That's
out
the thing.
Jeff
It's like,
Bezos.
so she.
Good
Here's this
man.
woman who actually probably deserves attention for, like, just being this person who wanted to.
Yeah, that would have been a much
Lon-
cooler story.
Exactly, but then fucking
Yeah.
dipshit Katy Perry takes up all the attention with her stupid dandelion and stuff. It's like, I don't know. It's just stuff
Yeah.
like that. Where it's like this
It's
is
just like, who gives a fuck,
this is
man?
so cynical.
Yeah, I feel like time is kind of a flat circle. I feel like every once in a while we get like the celebrity being like, "Look at how epic and relatable I am." Like when what was the fucking the dumb what was her name? The dumb bitch
penis.
Kardashian. I can't remember her name. No, the fucking
Oh,
here's
Alec
a
Baldwin when he was like,
Pepsi.
"Hey, I kill women too."
Yeah, Alec
Yeah.
Baldwin. Yeah, no, when what's her name? Fucking handed the Pepsi to the cop in that
Kendall
commercial,
Jenner.
and it was like,
I covered that.
Yeah, Kate-
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
And I
Oh, did you?
recorded something about that in the video yesterday. It's funny.
yeah, I feel like
Talking about that,
that and imagine all those people.
there was a
People.
Do you guys? What's everyone's opinion on 7-Up? Because I hate 7-Up. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
7-Up. I'm Mexican, so I'm
opinion.
kind of.
I
I
kinda
don't really
hate
have
like
an opinion on
7-Up.
7-Up. I don't think.
It's either a neutral
7-Up's good.
or a this sucks. But their slogan in the
It's
60s
terrible.
was "Uncola," because it's not cola, and it was
Oh,
apparently
that's right. Yeah.
it was kind of piggybacking off the like counterculture movement at the time of like I guess like hippies or whatever, but like anti-war, anti-Vietnam War people, like this kind of new wave of progressivism at the time, and so they were like, yeah, fuck those, fuck big cola, that's an establishment
Big cola.
thing. If you drink 7-Up, you're different, and like from that it was like hugely successful. And it's just so funny because that was like Pepsi was clearly trying to do the same thing. Like, oh, here's this big counterculture movement. Like, people are like, protesting inequality and doing all this shit. How can we get in there and sell Pepsi? And instead of just kind of like having an air of like rebelliousness about it, they were like, what if we literally have Kendall Jenner walk through a fucking Black Lives Matter protest and hand a cop
Yeah.
of Pepsi? That'll fix it. People will love that.
Yeah. Everybody fucking just feels better and not all mad all the time after they drink a Pepsi. I
Yeah.
can speak from experience.
I like, and they pull all the sound out when they crack it, so you can hear the nice sound.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
yeah. If in case you
Imagine-
forgot, that's a nice cold Pepsi right there.
Imagine if they like really leaned into it and it's like, I don't know, like the scene where Derek, what's his name? Derek Chauvin is on.
Derek Chauvin
George
gives
Floyd.
George Floyd a Pepsi. Is that what you were going to say, Doug?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like Derek Chauvin is on George Floyd's neck, and then Kendall Jenner goes over there and hands him a Pepsi. And then
He
gets
stands
off
up.
him.
He stands
gets
up.
off of
He's
him.
like, oh,
And it's like a time paradox where it's like none of
That'd
that
be
ever
fire.
happened. I feel like that would be like
it's just like so many layers of fuck because they can't. They have to like CGI. Because he's,
they have to
he's
like
dead.
They just use
they have
AI.
to do like a Paul Walker type.
Oh yeah,
thing
it's the
with
whole thing
George
is
Floyd.
AI generated too. Just like add another level of
Yeah.
disrespect to the whole thing.
AI is
He
incredibly.
keeps like going through his neck and shifting into his head and stuff.
They morph into one person.
AI is incredibly well trained on George Floyd for some reason.
That is true.
The AI gooners of the world love making George Floyd AI memes.
It turns
Yeah, I've
out
seen
that a
it.
large number of AI users are freaks.
Yeah. Speaking of AI,
really?
speaking of AI, I put this in talking points, and it's something that I don't know about you guys, but like, okay, so I recently fell into the dead internet
hole.
theory. I recently fell into a hole. No, I recently
That
fell
you dug
into
in?
the rabbit hole. Yeah, rabbit hole. An actual big
Doplex,
rabbit hole. in
explain
my
for the
backyard.
viewers at home what the dead internet theory is.
Doplex, the
Yeah,
I
so-
started looking
yours.
into that like a year ago
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, so dead internet theory. I heard about it in passing, and you know, I was kind of like, nah, there's no way. But then I really looked into it, and I'm not gonna lie, boys. After I looked into it, I felt like really sad at my core. Now let me.
That's
Yeah,
what
that is dead internet theory. No, so essentially, dead internet theory, right? It's like, you know, you go to a YouTube video. Like a good example would be the America's Got Talent videos, where it's like, you know, the fucking Ugandan man with 3 heads is singing, clearly AI generated, and like you know,
The guy
transform
just
into
turns
like
into
a fucking
smoke out of nowhere on stage with his like
yeah, or
nothing
like
around
somebody
him.
turns into like a Cerberus or a fucking panther. And like Simon Cowell's eyes are bulging out. Just clearly not a real video.
Yeah.
And then you look at the comments and it's all like, wow, so beautiful. Wow. I wish more people had this kind of positivity. And it's like, clearly these have got to be bots, right? Because the amount of people, like, you know, it's kind of like a scale of either everybody has left the internet and it's mostly bots, or people have just gotten collectively fucking stupid. Now, I originally thought it was the latter.
I don't think it's got
it's a
stupid.
little both.
I think people have always been stupid, but I get what you're saying.
Right,
Me too.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But so the thing is there were like studies done on like the percentage of users on sites like Twitter or just the internet in general, like a massive percentage of people who use the internet, or I'm sorry, a massive percentage of users on the internet just aren't real. Like they're just bots, like to fucking garner traffic towards like certain websites, and like that shit just kind of like leaks. It spills out into like the actual user pool. So then when you see like a lot of people just commenting fucking nonsense, like even when somebody like will tweet something and then you know, there'll be like replies and it'll just like it'll be like some guy with like an Indian man profile picture speaking like a fucking thesaurus, just copy pasted. Like
Oh, dude,
it just
I had
makes no sense.
I literally had that yesterday. I was buying. I wanted to get a lamp. I was buying a new lamp on Amazon.com, and it's so funny. Like all the kiddies who just do drop shipping now, just like you try and buy anything on Amazon, it's like here's the same product 50 different times, marketed 20 different ways for
right. And you go on
prices or whatever.
AliExpress and it's like 50 cents.
The dead internet theory, just to be concise really quick, is basically mostly what Doplex was saying, but it's the idea that like eventually, and we're kind of approaching this eventuality, is that the internet is going to be entirely commercialized, where either you are, and politicized, where either you're dealing with like all like foreign actor bots that are like trying to influence you in one way, or you're dealing with a bunch of fake accounts to like bolster up the numbers of different websites in some way for, you know, investor and ad rate shit, or you're dealing with automation like we've seen since like COVID started, where like everything is like everything is scalped. Everybody has a bot that's buying shit for them faster than like a normal human can, so that then they can automate a drop shipping to like resell it or something. So it's just like eventually, because of X, the internet is going to basically just be like a consumer hub that is like fully automated just by like and less people are going to interact with it as like the commenter or the poster or anything, because it just makes them so sad, but they're still going to interact with it to consume it because it fills their time. You know, and we've seen that all happen just like in our own lives over the past like 5 years or something. So it's kind of just like approaching, just like it's just going to be like a big like Walmart store eventually. So it's just like run by robots.
And it's essentially just like opening the fucking floodgates to like I don't want to get all like fucking, you know, conspiratorial, you know, QAnon type beat, but it does kind of feel like we're approaching a place where like the internet kind of went from this like cool little social hub to like go on and chat with your friends.
This is what like you just
that's true.
it.
But like, I mean, if you were to talk about this like, you know, fucking 5 years ago, it would sound like you'd sound like
people were talking
about this 5 years ago.
People were talking about this.
I think we were talking about this. I know that I was.
Right, but I mean specifically
the concept of the dead internet theory is, at a certain point, bots are going to outnumber humans, and it's going to be impossible to tell which is which. You're just going to assume everyone's either a bot or a human, and both are kind of bad for different reasons.
Yeah. Well, I guess I say conspiratorial in like the political sense, where it's like it's kind of gotten to a point where it's, you know, it's you have like opinions that are boistered so high, you know, on both sides, and it's just like it almost feels like a constant like fucking scale that's being balanced, you know, in both directions, just to like keep it's never like fully balanced, but it's always just enough to like keep people fighting. That and also just the integration of fucking AI, like fucking
that's
language learning models and shit like that, like
big time.
Yeah.
What I was going to say before is I was trying to buy this fucking lamp, and there's like a million lamps, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go. What one has like a lot of reviews? That must be like an alright one. And you click on, there's one that has like 3,000 views. So I'm like, okay, that's a lot. Like this must be like a reputable seller that's been selling these for ages. And you click on it, and like maybe they are. It's still with like an alright rating, but like I scroll down, one of the first 5-star ones is some guy with a 5-paragraph review on this fucking.
I love this couch.
It's a lamp, but it's so clearly Chat GPT, where it's like, you know, a beautifully written. It's, you know, most reviews, actual reviews, are like low punctuation, very just like, oh, I liked it. The cable was a bit short, blah blah blah. But this is like the functionality of this lamp is exquisite. It's perfect for, you know, it's like, all right. Well,
but verified reviewers get paid to do that on Amazon. If you buy something, you can then review it, and the more that it's deemed that someone reads your review by, like, you know, whatever, the robot algorithm on the site, it's like someone read your review and then was convinced to buy it, you actually get a commission of the sale from Amazon. Yeah, so again, another consumerism incentivization to automate something where it's like, again, interfacing with normal people who are like, well, I'm not even gonna fucking, obviously this is fake, I'm not gonna buy this, and I'm definitely not gonna leave a review, because then people are gonna think I'm a bot.
But also people sell, like, that's why I said I love this couch, is because, like, I've seen that a lot, where it's like I go to buy something like a fucking cable, and then the reviews are for something entirely different, because this drop shipper just sells like everything under the sun, and it's all like it's, the internet is a very strange place. I think days.
As soon as you add monetization, or the ability to monetize into anything, it's fucked. So like, I didn't know that, James. That makes so much sense. That's fucked up. As soon as Elon put monetization into Twitter, where like now your posts can get fucking, you know, depending on how many. So like now when I open Twitter,
it's all rage bait.
The one time a day I open Twitter and just want to get mad. Well, not even rage bait. Like I feel like half my feed now is just like movie clips.
Just gimmicks and rage bits.
Just gimmicks and movie clips.
And
it'll just be like a shot from like fucking Avengers, and it's like, I never knew Captain America was this strong, and then it's just Captain America like having a fight scene, you know. But it's like,
Facebook.
Sometimes you scroll, it's privileged to become
Facebook.
Facebook, but it sucks because it's like people are. It used to be fucking actual people talking about things and discussing things, and there is still that.
Now it's all like stolen content.
Now that these like Indian content farms, or just any like third world country, can just fucking steal clips, re-upload them, and then Elon pays them. It's like, shit, there's like a
I am
billion of those
Mr.
showing
Beast.
up. So I don't know.
It's really depressing. Like, especially fucking. Another thing that sucks too is like, not to fucking continue on this point, but
Go on.
I put. Might as well just fucking let it all out. But so there's two things that really bug me about it's Twitter specifically, which I definitely use significantly less. But the
that's been the one positive, is I just don't feel like going on anymore.
Exactly, because it's fucking depressing. Well, because kudos, you brought up monetization. Yeah, so fucking having it almost like a pay to win type thing, where it's like you gotta like almost. Yeah, because so like now when you go to like any, like, you know, you'll see like an interesting video, and like, or even like a video where like somebody fucking falls on their skateboard and you want to see if they died, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I did okay.
You got in the comments.
And like all the replies, all the comments are either like completely unrelated shit, or it's 90% people being like, Guac, is this true? Guac, Guac, is this true? I'm too stupid to Google Grok. Can you tell me, please? I'm stupid.
Asking Grok for confirmation on videos.
You can reply at, and it will like then reply,
and it's
like
never
a tweet,
correct, by the way.
And I guess it can like review what you're replying to and your message and shit.
But it can't though. That's the funny thing. It can't. I have not seen it like accurately do any of that. Literally, anytime somebody asks somebody about a video, it just doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, so it just makes up shit. But like, all the replies are obviously all these idiots who paid for a check mark, so like they get fucking top of the pile.
Get bumped to the top, and because they're the kind of people who pay for a chick.
All
like,
I ever
that-
see is
that head
fucking
my-
OnlyFans bitches.
He
Damn, I
would
wish
suck
I was
off
doing
Elon. Yeah, I wish I was.
That's
seeing
all I
them
ever
OnlyFans
see is
bitches.
just fucking.
Well, even that's like
I bet that skateboard would feel good in my ass, right, boys? And then it's you know,
Grok,
their
is this true?
entire
I bet
profile
you it
picture is just
would.
their
I'd love to
pussy.
see that.
that would be a fun
Grok,
video
is
to
her
cover.
pussy
There was
real?
a place that I could.
Guerrilla marketing for OnlyFans chicks has gotten fucking outrageous for a while now, right? Like it's like it used
Yeah,
to
how'd
just
they
be like,
die?
here's my spread ass, and you'd be like, oh, here's $5 to see more, and it's like that was a fair transaction.
Yeah.
But now they're like getting gimmick accounts to post fake news stories of like,
Yeah.
OnlyFans girl kicked out of home after her dad finds raunchy video on computer, and then in the comments it's like,
After dad fucking nuts to his daughter's vids.
yeah, and then the
they
top
must
comments
be really
like,
hot. Check it out
like,
here.
anyone got the vid, and then someone like ats her, and it's like, oh wow, I bet that was
Yeah.
organic.
No, yeah, it's like a 3-level scam of paying people just to
Yeah.
get your stupid OnlyFans shit.
Exactly. Yeah. There's that,
It's
and then there's
pathetic,
like the
Just go
there's
on
like the weird
Pornhub.
fucking yeah.
Can't
Literally
you
just go on
can't you just
Pornhub.
be hot enough to fucking actually be good at what you're doing?
Well, that's
Yeah,
the problem.
you really
There's a lot
gotta do
of,
this
there is a
whole
lot of hot
fucking-
people out there, and they're all vying for attention now.
That's true.
I mean, yeah,
It's-
like what else? What the fuck else are you supposed to do? This economy fucking sucks. Everything
The other
sucks.
thing is like
Yeah.
the economy sucks.
What the
you're
fuck else are you
you're
supposed to do
attractive.
to make money?
You're attractive.
You
You're
might as
18.
well,
You've
dude.
grown up in a. You're like, especially if you're 18 now. You've grown up in a world where internet pornography has always been accessible to you, like, and sexuality and everything's been very like normalized, which is like a good thing. But it does now mean that people could just like, oh well, yeah, I guess I could just fuck on camera for money. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. So we're gonna have a weird situation like 30 years when like you got to pick up your kid from the school and half the mums there have been like had their asshole blown out on camera.
There is gonna
I
be.
never
God, that
considered
makes me
that.
depressed.
Yeah, I never
Hopefully,
considered
I
that.
mean, something changes economically so that people don't feel the need to do it, and it's really only the bitches that's
I would
built
like
for
that.
it.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers
Yeah.
that's built for tough for sex work, and not everybody. But there is going to be a very weird
Get
generation
more
of
done
people
at
who
the
are
Home
like,
Depot.
I know all of these moms, and it's because I've seen they titties.
dude. If
Yeah.
you found out
Which is
someone's
going to
mum
be
did,
it's going to be interesting.
If my,
imagine
if
finding
my-
someone's
if
mum did
my
porn in
kid
the
ever comes
90s or
home with that
2000s.
news, I gotta move.
Yeah.
I gotta look her
That's
up
like
to
so
be safe.
that's so damaging.
It
No,
is,
like if your
yeah.
kid's like 10 years old and it's like, yeah, everyone knows this kid's mom because she's a porn star.
That would fuck
And
you up.
it's-
now
Big time.
now the entire 5th grade class like fucking, you know, I don't know. That's
One of my friends, a teacher got found for like she did porn at one point, and
Oh,
she had
really?
to leave the school. No, I don't think they fired her. She was just like, I can't work somewhere where
Oh, right.
at an
Now the
all
people
boys
know.
school where they know my porn name.
Yeah. They saw
Yeah.
Clark Kent without the glasses, and they're like, wait a second.
Whoa, she's actually
Hold
They-
on, she's
They saw her They saw her pussy without the glasses. Like, wait a second.
yeah. She sits in front of the class and teaches. She like uses her pussy like her belly button,
got
like as
bifocals.
like a puppet. Fucking
Yeah.
Okay, class.
the glasses fall off on accident, and some kid in the
Today
back
we're
just
gonna
goes,
talk about the ovaries.
He does a Leonardo snap.
yeah. She's like, look, you've already seen it all. What does it matter?
Yeah. And it's funny because I feel like future generations of fucking boys are not gonna have like the same type of like formative moments in their life. You know what I mean? Like I told you guys about my fucking buddy when we were like, I don't know, maybe
Your cousin
8 or
who used to
9.
suck his dick till you're 14.
yeah, my cousin when he sucked his dick. No, my buddy, we went over to another one of our buddies' house to go swimming in his like apartment pool, and his mom was like chaperoning
"Well,
us, and
guts.
and she was just like sitting in one of those you know, like the sun chairs. And like my buddy was like, again, we were fucking kids, but he was just like,
You were what?
he was just
What?
jacking off. Oh, wait, sorry.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. Whoa, 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 whoa.
We were kids.
Whoa, whoa,
We
whoa,
weren't
whoa, whoa.
fucking
James,
kids.
can you push
we
the
were, we were
soundboard
kids. We were
to
children.
go with that, or Andrew? Both of you?
God damn it. Fuck. That's not what I meant.
And Courtney, put that clip right here.
Again, we were fucking kids.
Bowser, so long, Bowser, so long, fuck, so long, Bowser.
I have a PSP. I like the
Anyway, don't fix this.
It would have been
It's all
funny if
in
it
the
wasn't the
mind.
full thing, but that's the like the "we'll be right back" sound.
Yeah,
But it's like the full
it's that. I
song
love
before.
it.
It would have been funny if it wasn't. But
Oh, yeah. I see you
the
get
way
better.
you hit the inflection on,
Yeah, you knocked that out of the
yeah, the
park.
way you hit the inflection on
Yeah.
that shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can't even defend that.
So we were fucking
Shit was
kids.
crazy.
we were fucking kids.
That shit.
So you were having sex with children. Go
God
on.
damn. and my friend Tyler, the same kid who got punched by a teacher, and the same kid who taught me what the word boner meant, and the same kid who just corrupted me in general.
Yeah, this kid lived a full life by 13.
Same kid who got sucked off by his cousin when he was 13.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't put it past him. I would not put it past him.
His name is Jeffrey West. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think Doplex is the same age as Kanye.
Yeah, I remember I dove under the water like fucking Super Mario 64 with Dire Dire Doc's playing, and I just see him stroking his little Jimmy, like looking at at our other friend's mom.
I remember this story.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember you telling us this. Yeah,
no, that kicks ass.
Yeah, and I it's weird because I look at that moment as like a boys being boys type beat. It's like, you know, kids of the future will never have that experience to like fucking be in the pool and jack off to your friend's mom, because it's like, you know, everybody got a smartphone. They just pull up their friend's mom and jack off in private. You know what I mean? You don't gotta wait for circumstance anymore.
No one's gonna be 12 years old jerking off to the MLB All-Star game like me, because they didn't know porn existed yet, and they didn't know what jerking off was. But something about watching the home run derby called for them to touch themselves.
Yeah,
exactly. Or fucking playing on your GameCube and
sticks.
Going in photo mode and zooming in on Taki's tits and beating your shit. It's all those are the formative fuckers.
Trying to speed run Dragon Age Origins because I had the slightest inkling that there was a Mass Effect style sex scene at one point in the game.
Yeah, starting up GTA San Andreas and speeding to the strip club before you have it on your fucking map and just trying to find it real quick. Man, them's the formative years, bro. Kids will never have that.
Simpler times. Didn't fucking Kanye's kid
I'm sure
find
they will.
The Kim and Ray J sex tape on Roblox? Isn't there like a clip of them like discussing
well,
it?
Kim found it. It was like their daughter found it or whatever. And then Kim was like, "What the fuck? Why do people do this?" And it's like, "Well, you're a whore.
You made it. My brother in Christ, you made the video
to be famous. So now it's showing you the bounds of your fame. It's awesome.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
video made to be released. I thought that got leaked.
I think it was like
what?
Like I think it was like
that's why Ray J's talking to himself the whole
Kim
time.
Kardashian's like mom like set the entire thing up for it to be like Kim's big launch point for her career. They're demons, right? That shit was like completely.
Also, no, worst part
it
was leaked, but like
it was in the era of. If you guys don't remember, if you guys don't remember,
it was
in the
orchestrated
era
by that
of,
whole fucking scum reptile family for her to get famous.
Honestly, the worst thing about the whole sex tape thing is the Kim Kardashian sex tape's not good. It's bad.
It's terrible sex tape.
But back then it didn't matter.
Legitimately,
back then
it was just like
voyeurism. It was
in
like,
the camera,
holy
like,
crap.
you got this, man. You just gotta stay in the pocket. You gotta stay in the zone, man.
Stay
Keep
in the
your stroke
pocket.
game strong.
I'm Ray J. Have you guys
Do you think he was like? That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think he was really doing that, knowing that like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this myself and laugh at my own little jokes? It's like he was doing that to be a performer.
I can see that like now the more I think about it, but like just filming a sex tape where you're fucking, like, that's embarrassing enough, but like knowing I wouldn't be hyping myself up in my sex tape.
Like
that's just an extra level of embarrassment.
In like 2004, it was different. It was like I am the man. Every guy's gonna think I'm dope because we all do this before we fuck hot chicks.
I mean, look at the fucking pizza guy who showed James that audio clip of him of pussy moving.
That's true.
Him and Ray J are like the same age.
That's
They're cut from the same cheesecloth.
Now that I think about it, his name was Ray. What's an Italian name?
Raymond Jaymond. Raymundo J Mundo of New Jersey Pizza.
Yo, that would be a fire porn name. Raymundo J Mundo.
James, I think you found your calling.
I'm gonna eat your big hundo.
You know what the dead internet theory and all this teaches me? You know what lesson I take away from it?
What's your takeaway?
We need to enjoy things in real life, like I did the other day when I went and played One Piece cards.
True.
At the card shop.
Yeah.
Which I have a story about that I'm trying to transition into.
Please.
Okay.
We just all go like, yeah, I agree, man.
Anyway.
It wasn't
Can we talk about Katy Perry some more?
I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. No, I want to hear about your story. So you've been playing the One Piece trading card game, which I've actually been seeing more and more of. Like, it seems like it's taken off more and more.
It's exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
I would say probably because of you playing it and discussing it on Beef. I think we just have that kind of impact.
I think we do, yeah. It's a really low bar trading card game to get into, and it's like exploding in popularity right now. For anyone that it would be interested in it, I have 3 decks, and I paid like $30 max for like each of them. So, pretty cheap as far as hobbies go, as an adult at least. Every week we have a tournament at our local card shop. Interesting fellows that be showing up.
Nice people, but
a cool crowd.
Hygiene could sometimes be improved a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I thought, I know that that's true to an extent, but you think that's a joke for the most part. But it's like once a week at least you're rolling up to a table that smells like a carne asada stand at a fucking fair. It's pretty crazy.
Honestly, brother, you could walk into a GameStop for 5 minutes and get a little whiff.
Dude,
I feel like any place.
No, but it's like you sit down across from them, and it's like it's like you're living in their bedroom. It's like right up in you.
It's a force field. You can feel it. Like you can feel when you breathe. It's like when the droids cross through that in the Phantom Menace against the Gungans. It's like they go through that and just boom.
You've been to one of your boys' places, and he's just like he's full bachelor core. He doesn't fully understand that other people smell like they don't understand that they can't smell their own smell anymore. It's kind of how I imagine Cum Shoes' room would be. But have you ever been to like someone like that, and like you walk into their house and you get hit with like a whoa, okay, it's like that, except you have to sit across from them, and they've somehow carried it with them all the way to the card store.
Exactly. Yeah. And this fellow that I'm about to talk about is one of these guys.
Oh no.
So I right now in One Piece, every 2 months there's a new set that comes out, and it'll change the meta pretty drastically. So about a month ago, the meta changed big time when OP10 came out. And this leader Shanks, you don't need to know what any of this means, but this leader Shanks, a character from the show, because of his leader ability and a new card that came out that synergizes really well with it, has become the dominant. It's called a tier 0 leader in games like this, where it's like usually you have like tier 1, tier 2, or like S tier, A tier, B tier. Okay. Then there's a tier 0 where it's like, all right, you're within a meta that's like very broken, and this leader is like outside of the S tier, A tier, B tier. It's just like you look at every professional tournament, and he's like 50. It's usually if they're 50% or more of the ranking players, and that's what it is right now.
Gotcha.
So this kid is playing. So I went to that shop. I play a very off meta leader, and you play 4 rounds, and then whoever places in the top 4 gets like rewards.
Gets to have sex with the winner.
Little trinkets. That would be that's what you have to do if you come in last place.
Whoever comes in first gets to fuck whoever comes in last.
Yeah. So out of my 4 matches, I played 4 Shanks. Which is not what typically happens, but
is it a fun
it's crazy.
deck to play against at least, or is it one of those bullshit ones where you can't do anything and they just come out of nowhere?
The reason that it's the biggest deck right now is basically like a lot of the other decks make it so that you have to know other people who you're playing against play style better than your own, because every deck has a play line for the most part. And if they hit that play line, you can kind of tell what they're looking to do turn by turn, and then you can base what you're going to do off of that. Yeah. This deck is very much, it can just turtle until it can do what it wants to. And you don't need to understand anything about the game. Like, it's very much like the effects, instead of being, it's hard to explain it without knowing the game, but the effects, instead of doing things that take a lot of forward thinking, like chess, it's very much more like checkers, where it's you do the same thing every turn until you get to the point where you can drop this set of cards that are basically like unstoppable in like the late game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can survive until then, you basically win no matter what. It's a very boring thing to play against.
There's
and
quite a few
on
decks
top
like that.
I play Pot of Greed.
On top of that, the deck is like $250 to like $300 to build, whereas like most decks are closer to like $50 or $100. So it's very much like you can just show up and spend all of this money, and you don't have to interface with the game or community much to understand the other decks, because it doesn't really matter what someone else is trying to do with this playstyle.
You just need to do what you're doing.
Exactly. So it's really pay to win. It's like you don't have to have any love for the game, and you don't have to have anything other than $300, and you at least have a 50-50 shot to win. What'd you say?
Magic's kind of like that too, right? Because like even going to when Sabrina and I were just playing like between us, like when we were going to the card shops and just buying cards, I'm like, what's stopping me from just buying all these like absolutely fucked cards? Like,
depends on the format, but
decimate.
That does happen. I think those kind of decks, the sort of one that James is talking about, those usually get banned. If it gets to the point, because that does happen quite a lot. Whereas like one deck will become so dominant, over 50% of people have it, and it's usually stuff like this where it's like it's not. There's no interaction, It's like this person will just kind of do their own little thing, ignore what the other player's doing, and then just win out of nowhere. And it's like there's nothing the other player can do to
play gun.
Interact and stop that, or at least having a chance to stop that. So that stuff normally gets banned. But I mean, if you got more money, at the end of the day, you probably can buy better decks. But if you're more skilled,
that's the thing. But and so this kid that I'm playing against, it was my last match. I'd won one game and lost 2 games by this point, so I was kind of checked out. I was just having fun. I wasn't going to win anything that night. But I'm going up against this guy. Usually I make small talk and I shake hands and everything, before the match, because that's like half the fun of it. Is just everyone there is really cool, regardless of their stench.
They're usually very
that is one thing I do love about nerd shops.
If you go to like a Magic store or whatever, Friday Magic, I think maybe they're just happy to have a free win. But every time I've done it, the people have been so nice. They've been like really easy. Like,
I think people like that are happy to kind of
get
maybe free win too. But like they're happy to have someone to like pontificate all of this knowledge that they've amassed on this like niche thing to someone who's like a willing
like someone wants to get
audience.
into it.
I've taught like 20 people Magic, and I fucking love it every time. It's so fun. I'm going to teach Doplex. I'm excited to teach you guys one day. So it's I know that feeling. It's cool.
Yeah, like even just going to not I'll eat two Jews, but like just going to the card shop when Sabrina and I were getting into Magic, and like just the amount of free shit we'd get. Like if we're clearly there to buy like a card case or like a fucking mat, because we don't have one, we're just starting, and like the guys are like, oh, here's a free deck, here's like free mana cards, like you just oh, you're getting into it, here's like the newest fucking drop just for free, just to play it, you know what I mean? Like it's very much like that kind of thing, which I think is really,
that's really cool,
really cool and really communal. Like
it's just people who love the hobby. The people there like literally go there every day, even when there isn't tournaments, and they just like sit in the back and like order pizza and like rip a couple packs from the shop to like give them a couple bucks, and then they just like sit there and play like all night.
That's sick.
It's a big time vibe.
Shout out plenty of games in Melbourne.
But that's what I'm saying, like regardless of the smells and fragrances of the humans there, they're on the whole very cool people. Now this fella, he didn't just walk up smelling he didn't just walk up smelling like fucking like Brazilian steak marinade and like shorts that have been in the bottom of your hamper for like 3 weeks that you keep forgetting to take out when you do your laundry.
Boys smell like a fucking layover in India.
Like,
but he didn't just smell like that. He smelled like he walked up with this like this
swag,
like necrotizing smell. It was like that smell compounded with like something, the aura of his soul is creeping out and like leaking out of his hemorrhoid filled asshole.
It's like a Fable when you go full evil and you start getting flies and shit around you.
Exactly. So like that was his vibe when I rocked up to the table, and I sat down and I like put my hand out, and he's kind of like oh. And he didn't shake my hand, and I'm like, oh, okay, well,
that's brutal. No matter what you're doing,
he was just like, and I was like, okay, maybe he's off. Like, we're at a very, we're partaking in a very niche, nerdy adult hobby. Like, some people aren't all the way there. So
that's fair.
I'm not gonna hold it against
maybe
him.
he's awkward.
Switch off.
he was just like make noises and shit. My swag on.
Take a look in the shower and I don't go in.
That was his vibe for sure. So usually either you don't talk during the matches so that everyone can focus, or you kind of chit chat. It just depends on like the vibe. This was very much a not talking sesh, which is totally cool. So You roll 2d6, like 2 like normal dice, for a high roll to see who picks the order in which you go. Shanks, this leader, very much wants to go second. Which is good because either you win the dice roll and you say you want to go second, or a lot of decks want to go first, so they win and say they want to go first. It's like you always kind of get your play line because you get to go second 80% of the time. But I know this, so I win the dice roll. And I'm like, okay, well, my deck doesn't care which turn it goes on. So I win the dice roll, and I'm like, I'm going to go second to take away his normal play line. Which is just a strategy of the game.
It's a game.
Like,
dude, they do that in football. That's like a classic thing. Is like sometimes going second is the better move.
Same in Magic, same in every card game. It's that's why they let you pick if you win the roll.
Exactly. It's not just like you win and then you go first. It's like you get to choose
this guy
what's
didn't
better.
See it that way.
Well, we roll and he rolls like an 8, and you can tell like he's like he's like starts snorting and breathing and shit. And then I roll like an 11 or something, and then he still doesn't look too upset because he thinks he's still gonna get to go second. Then I'm like, all right, I think I'll go second, and he goes. For audio listeners, he just goes like bug-eyed and just like looks at me deep into my soul without breaking eye contact.
Like you just told him the exact time and place he'll die.
Okay, I think your deck would want to go first, and I was like, no, I'll go second. It's okay. As
an offer to you, as an offer of goodwill to you, my new friend, you can go first.
Yeah, exactly.
My new best buddy.
Okay. So we set up our cards and everything. So the order is you shuffle your deck, you put it out to the person, they cut it just in case you did anything weird, and they put like the bottom half on top, and then they send it back to you. But it's shuffled regardless. And then you take, for me it's you take 5 cards. And then you see if you want them or not, and then you can mulligan them. If you don't, you can just basically put them back, reshuffle, and take 5 more. And then you're stuck with whatever you get. But I don't do that. I take 5, he takes 5. Then what you're supposed to do is set up your life pool. So my leader has 4 life. So I'm supposed to take the next 4 cards off my thing and put them into my life pool. And then when you take damage to your leader, you take a life card and put it into your hand.
Yeah.
And then once you get to none, if you get hit again, you lose. Yeah, it is. But obviously this is very important. So we start the game. On your turn, you set your like mana points up, Don, and then you draw a card for your turn, and then you start, playing.
Yeah.
I forgot to put my life cards out because I'm new and I forget it like every time, which is obviously very important. So I go to draw a card, and then I pick up the card and I look at it, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot to put my life cards out. So I go to bottom deck this card because I had already seen it. And I didn't want to cheat and like know what's in my life, because you eventually get your life cards back to your hand, so you can technically like think ahead of what's going to be there.
Should have thrown like a crazy tantrum, like slapping yourself, like hitting your, just acting like you're fucked up guy.
Stupid! Fuck me!
You gotta out crazy
pinching
him.
your wiener, like guys, like, pinching your wiener through your shorts.
Just really quickly jacking off your soft cock with just your thumb and forefinger.
You're rolling your foreskin like a bugger.
This is what my uncle would do when I wouldn't obey him. He's like, me too. This is what cousin Kanye would always make me do.
Cousin Kanye.
Well, it ain't no cousin Kanye back again with a spike
Back
head.
again to suck some dick.
To suck my cousin's cock.
So I go to put this card back on the bottom of the deck and then set my life up and then draw a card so I don't know what was there. And I go to do that and he's like, I was like, oh, I forgot to put my life out. I looked at the card. I want to put it in my life. He's like, that's what the cards dealt. And I was like, wait, so you want me to put this into my life even though I saw it? And he's like, that's what the cards dealt. So I know what this card is. He wants me to put it back and then exactly.
Magician from a medieval story.
That's what the cards
He basically is. So he makes me put it back into the top of the deck and then put it into my life. So now I know it's in my life. That doesn't really come to pass. Anyway, which is just like, okay, it's like at this point it's like I first of all I did the wrong thing, but also like, okay, obviously there's something off here. and I'm here to be a nice, fun little guy. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. So we start playing, and there's you can have 4 of a card in your deck of 50 cards. So you know, if there's a card that's really good, you can only have 4 of it, so you can't see it like constantly. It's still just kind of luck of the draw to an extent. Obviously, the more you put into your deck, the more often or the higher the odds that you'll see it. So I have this really good finisher card in my deck that I only have 2 of because it doesn't have counter power, so it's kind of like a brick in your hand.
It's called
for anyone that plays the game, it's Monkey D Dragon.
Monkey.
Let me put it here.
Monkey D's Dragon. It's pretty cool card art. Courtney put it there. It's kind of my finisher card because most cards you have to play it and then they don't get to do anything, and then on your next turn they get to attack. But there's cards with Rush that get to attack the turn they're played. So we're kind of getting to the end of the game. I play this card, and it's pretty big for me. Like, I get his last life out of his life pool, but then I don't have anything left to do. So I pass the turn to him, and I only have like 1 life left, but I have a shit ton of cards in my hand. And he has a shit ton of cards in his hand.
Is this it? Is
no, that's the leader, actually, I believe.
Oh.
That's the leader card.
Cool.
Look up 8C Monkey D Dragon.
Sorry, this isn't
8
useful for anyone.
cost.
I'm just curious.
That's okay. Pull
Look
it
up guys having sex.
What more 8D Monkey Sea Dragon.
Bro. Let me see Monkey
There's
Dragon.
this one, but it's a sample.
Yeah, that one.
That one?
I don't know why they always say that on the website, but yeah, it's that one.
Sample!
It is indeed that one.
Cool.
So I only have I run 2 of those in my deck. And most people do, you know, not a lot of people will run 4 of that card. So I play that card. It's really big for me, and I guess he assumes I don't have another one. I get him down to no life, but I have to hit him again to win, and I can't, so I pass the turn. And then it's like, he might have a play where he can kill me here, so he goes for it, and I happen to just have the right amount of counter in hand to get out of it, and so he gets me to no life, but he can't get he tries like 3 times to get the finishing shot in, and I have all of these very specific counters that are getting me out of it.
That feels amazing to pull that shit out. You're like blue magic.
Yeah, exactly. But he has a fat board, he has a blocker on the board and everything. So with his blocker on the board, and with the amount of Don power that I'm going to have, he should be able to get out of it if I only have 2 attacks, no matter how strong they are.
Yeah.
But I have another Monkey D Dragon in hand, which is like, you know, very low odds that I would have that of like the 2 cards left in my hand, because there's only 2 of them in my whole deck.
Yeah.
And there's still one on the board that he wasn't able to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just luck of the cards, you know?
Yeah.
It's what the cards dealt.
Well, exactly. So this is literally the only way that I can win the game and him not be able to survive and then win on the crackback like the next turn.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do have it. So as soon as I play it down, the game's not over because I haven't swung and he hasn't done his counter and blocker and everything.
But it's pretty much
as soon as I play it down, he just goes, fuck! Like he starts screaming. And we're in like a card store like the size of like a fucking it's like the size of a I don't even know, like a record shop or something. Like
a
it's
Virginia
not like
store.
Yeah, exactly. like the grocery closet almost.
Yeah.
But he starts screaming, fuck! He's like the doctor from the autism doctor show, like, I am a doctor.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that vibe where he's just like, fuck!
I am a gamer.
Just overwhelmed.
Fucking snot bubbles and shit.
So
They're filled with green gas.
After he finishes bugging out, like I it's obvious that I'm gonna win, but I swing, he counters out. I put a bunch of Don on one swing, he can't counter, but he takes. So then he's down to nothing, and then I put a bunch of Don on the last guy, and I swing, and and he like looks up at me furiously, and I kind of like smile and put my hand out, which I wasn't trying to do as a douche, but it probably came across as that, and he went. And he takes his handful of cards and this is a $300 deck. These cards are worth money.
Yeah.
He takes them and he fucking flings them on the ground and starts running around and stomping on his own cards.
That's
Jesus.
awesome.
I swear.
He started doing a rain dance on his cards.
He screams, throws his cards on the ground, and starts stomping on his cards. Yeah, he's doing like a little toad dance, like on his cards.
That is the best way to win any card game ever.
Yeah, dude.
Breaking
no
your opponent.
Everyone looks over, and I'm just sitting there like this, like trying not to fucking.
Everyone there would
into
know. That's not the first time that guy's done something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the story, I went and talked to a guy there that I met that's kind of like taken me under his wing and made me suck his penis.
Only a couple times though.
Like we watched.
He is 14 though.
No, he's not. I'm 14. But he was like, yeah, that's I'm not gonna say his name, but he says his name and he's like, yeah, that kid freaks out every week, but he buys a bunch of every time he loses, which is he does. Every time he loses, he buys like $50 worth of packs to like pull new shit because he thinks it'll make him better. So the store doesn't want to kick him out because he spends like $100 every week.
That's so funny. That honestly is probably half the people in Magic stores is like, well, they ruin the vibe and everyone hates being around them, but goddamn, they've got a lot of money.
Goddamn, does he spend money?
He got some cash.
So I beat him, and then it's all through. The matchups are done through an app and stuff, and you have to like sign up before the event starts and everything. So after the game, you have to register. Like it's on the players to register who won and who lost. So like. But usually the person that will win will register that they won, and then it doesn't go through until the loser confirms that result.
Yeah.
No,
which
actually,
usually
I won.
Which usually there is not an issue.
No
but
way.
He does this. Then he comes back and he like shakes my hand. He like grabs out and he shakes my hand really hard and he's like spazzing out, and then he runs to the bathroom with his cards still all over the floor.
Yeah.
There's like mucus all over my hand.
From the bathroom, he just had to.
But
shit
he runs
himself.
to the
That's
bathroom, and then I get a notification on my phone. I look at it and it says X's name has registered their victory.
He went to the porcelain throne to claim victory.
I'm like, all right, bro.
He was hiding in the bathroom.
This is where
exactly.
This is where I take my stand, because I'm trying to be a nice guy, and I don't care because this win. I'm not gonna actually like win anything 2-2, you know. But like,
you can't do that.
You don't get to bug out like you're a 30-year-old man. You don't get to bug out like a 12-year-old and then try to get the win. You know, like,
was he hoping you would just like automatically just like tap the notification, like just
whatever. Like sure.
No, he was just being being a bitch.
Oh, okay.
You know, just
You should. Well, actually, I'll let you finish the story, but
Well, so this is the best part. So my name on the app, it says username and then nickname. Which one would you think shows up as your name at the store, like on the leaderboard?
Probably like nickname, I guess.
I'd imagine your nickname.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So my nickname is what I use on most platforms. So I'm not going to say it. But the username, because it was like the first week we got there, I wasn't signed up and my account was being weird. So I had to like make a new account really fast, like within like 3 minutes, or I wouldn't be able to play that night. So I made my nickname something just like, you know, Jimmy or like James or JMM or something. And then my username, I made Jimmy Fat Nuts.
Classic.
Now,
of course.
For some reason,
awesome.
it uses the username, and I don't know what the point of the nickname is, but it uses the username at the store, so everyone there knows me as Jimmy Fat Nuts. When they get their matchup for their round, they walk up to the table and you're like, "Are you Jimmy Fat Nuts?" I'm like, "Yep, that's me."
That's me.
What's up, baby?
And I can't delete my account because it has all my like wins and shit registered on it, which like will matter, you know, later in the year.
Yeah.
But the obviously, so this kid had saw my name, and after that, he comes back from the bathroom, and I'm sitting there talking to my friend about it, waiting for I have to like dispute it with the employees, and he comes back from the bathroom, and he just starts rage buying packs and ripping them like at the counter, like at the register, and like if he doesn't get something he likes, he fucking slams them down and buys another pack and shit. And he's just like, it's just being so strange.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know I'm there. So then the guy's talking to him,
And he's like, yeah, I lost my first game because my draw luck was just. Why do I even put 4 in my deck if I can't even see this one card? And then I'm walking up, and he's like, and then this last game, Jimmy Fat Tits just pulls the. He calls me Jimmy Fat Tits, bro.
Come on.
I'm like, dog, come on, bro.
Unfortunately, he cooked you there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. That's what I said. I was like, unfortunately, that was incredibly funny.
That was a very
that's fucking awesome.
I have nothing for that. I'm gonna have to just leave.
But I'm walking up to the counter as he's saying that, and the guy who works there knows me, especially because my name. He loves calling out my name because he thinks it's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm walking up to the counter to come dispute this. Like I'm like holding my phone up, like trying to get the guy's attention. So not realizing that he's talking to him. Then I hear him say that, and I walk up next to him and I kind of stop. And the store employee looks over at me, and looks back at the guy, and he's like, "You know, Jimmy Fatnuts is like standing right next to you." And the kid's like this.
Looks in camera.
He like he like fourth wall looks to camera and like stares me in my eyes, and
Larry
then
David appears on screen.
He like scoops up all his cards like this and just like hunched over walks away with all his cards in his hands without saying anything. And I'm just like at this point I'm just like, dog. It was a 5-minute One Piece card game exchange, bro. I don't understand. But then I go. I'm like, hey, he registered. He registered that he won. And I won. Obviously, that's why he's upset. And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, he does that all the time. I'll fix it." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good, bro. No problem."
I was gonna say because him being like, "I lost my first game," and I was like, "The intel we got from the employees that you've most certainly not only lost one game, so." Just,
you've lost multiple.
According to what he registered as, he's never lost.
That's so funny.
Well, I've never registered a loss.
At least he doesn't try to.
I'm surprised
but that was my first crazy
that's awesome.
My first like table flip experience in the wild.
I was gonna say as soon as he ran off to the bathroom and said, "I won," I would have gotten like all of the employees and other people to just stand right outside the bathroom door.
No, James should just got into the bathroom and boom, 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 boom. What are you doing?
You can't tell shit. And he's just like he's standing there. He takes all his clothes off and he's standing there butt naked on the toilet.
And that's why he smells so bad because they were sitting on the fucking public toilet floor.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just doesn't.
You just gotta go and be like, he's shitting. He's shitting. This guy's shitting in here.
He definitely had the vibe of someone who strips butt naked in a public bathroom to pee. You know?
Yeah, of course.
100%.
He just like takes his full shoes, socks, everything, just fully off.
I'm glad this didn't happen to you.
Fat Tits. Concede to Jimmy Fat Tits.
I'm glad this didn't happen to you, but if this was Magic, I'm almost certain, and it was that kind of guy, they would have tried to like dispute you for cheating when you fucked up at the start. Like,
I didn't even think about that. Dude, that would have been crazy.
Because people do that shit. They like if they're that kind of sore loser, and especially in Magic where like there is such a precedent of like sticking to the rules and shit. Yeah, I absolutely could see him being like, "Judge, come over here." Like this, this guy's trying to cheat or whatever.
That would be
those
wild.
guys do exist. Absolutely. Shout out that guy. I hope you see him. Are you going back this weekend?
Round 2, baby.
That was 2 weekends ago. This weekend, my buddy Jerry played him. And my buddy Jerry plays this deck where it's a bunch of like he plays an animal Zorro package where it's a bunch of like very low to the ground animal characters that are like all cutesy, but they have crazy combos they can pull off like as the game kind of like snowballs.
Yeah.
And it's like 7 different versions of this same character called Chopper.
No
and
chopping.
they interact with each other, and like you play one and it plays like 2 other ones to the board for free, and like all this shit that like most other decks can't do. And I hear they're playing behind me. He's playing with this kid, and I like warned him like, this is the kid that bugged out on me last week.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like hyped to play him, and I just hear him go,
How many fucking choppers are in your deck?
and my buddy, I hear Jerry go, he's like, dude, it's an animal that like he's the animal of the show. Like it's all Chopper. The whole deck is Chopper.
Oops, all choppers. That's what I got, bitch.
It's so
And then Jerry ended up beating
matter?
him, and Jerry ended up beating him, and I heard him while Jerry's like going to the counter to register the win. He's like, fat. He's like looping, just like getting louder and louder, yelling. You know, it's like a 4-year-old playing like Call of Duty. It was crazy to watch.
Yeah, but IRL.
And Jerry's not fat, so it didn't bother him. But like, and it wouldn't bother anybody. He's
chanting.
It's like when an Indian guy calls you the N-word.
It's more like this like obsessive like loop inside his head where like he has to bug it. Like he can't control it. Like he has to bug out if he loses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
So it's kind of epic.
Those
that
are
kind of
fun
subsect
people.
of people who like simultaneously want to be the best but also can't stand losing. Like I'm not the most competitive guy in the world. I like playing Magic and stuff casually, but I don't really like going to big tournaments and shit as much. It could be fun. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Like I wouldn't be a sore loser, but it's just not really my thing, But it's so funny that people like that, like this dude, clearly just does not have the mental maturity or whatever it is to like face winning, and yet he still puts himself there week after week where he's just going to be like angry and miserable. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
It definitely.
Some people play Call of Duty for like 100 hours and they're like, I fucking hate Call of Duty. It's the worst fucking game ever. And then they play it for another 100 hours that week, and it's like just do something else with your time.
My buddy was like that. Fucking anytime he'd play Call of Duty, it's funny. Like I go to his house. And he'd be playing Call of Duty, and honestly, he reminds me a lot. Like Pete really reminds me a lot of my friend, because like he would do shit like that. And this is like, I'd be sitting next to him, like just watching him play like online or whatever. And it got to a point where I'd have to like sit on the other side of his fucking living room, because like if I was next to him, he would like punch me in the arm if he died, or like he would throw his controller at me, like. Yeah, he was just like
you,
dude. If someone puts a
fault.
controller at me over Call of Duty, it's like
I'm out.
Yeah,
you're not. You're not even the one playing him either.
I know.
It's
yeah,
like,
well, he got like that fucking white boy phenotype where it's like that angry white boy, like punch a hole in the wall, Kyle type.
Well,
so
punch
like
a hole in the wall is a little like obviously that still makes everyone around you uncomfortable, but like it's an even different white boy phenotype where it's like I have to injure my loved ones around me to feel better.
I have to injure the first minority I see. Oh,
yeah. So I would like sit on the other side of the fucking living room, and he would just like punch the seat that I was sitting in. It's just like some people like just don't have the fucking brain for gaming or TCGs.
Yeah.
Just
my brother's
just losing in general.
Telling me, because he has lived with some friends for the past couple years through college and stuff. He had to have like an actual chat with his roommates to be like, I'm not playing games with you guys if you just rage at me. Like, it's not fun. Like, his boys could not play a game together without flipping shit. And it's just like, and my brother would be like, what is wrong with you? It's
a game.
What are you doing? It's a game, brother.
Yeah, there's definitely like I feel like you can't be like I get like being the fucking angry video game nerd type beat.
I've definitely gotten pissed off at losing in a game in before. Like I've gotten
me too.
Furious multiple times.
Yeah,
but
but honestly, it's normally. Yeah, I get more angry at like single player games. Like if I'm playing like an online game just with randoms and I die, I'm like, yeah, I mean this guy's clearly better than me, and I think it's cool that he's that good. Like I more so have like a respect for people who are that good. I mean, there are times where people are like, you just like this guy's a fucking nerd. This is all.
They're like
he does.
fucking with
like,
you. They're so much more powerful.
Yeah,
like especially like in MMO.
The rumbles I give is fuck
right.
dude. What does not have a life?
That's more me. Like I don't want to rage as much as I want to like specifically. Find the thing that will hurt the person who beat me the most. And say
your stories of going on people who have like Twitch or YouTube in their username and fucking with them. And
it's the best way to do it, dude.
It's so funny.
Well, we would do that like when we would play a fucking Pavlov. Like if some guy was just like being a fucking moron. Like remember there was that one time we found that guy who was streaming on Twitch. And we found ourselves on his stream, like I don't remember like if we were making fun of him or something. I just remember we were on his stream and like I do miss like fucking just people who would try hard like that, be like fucking epic gamer YT.
Yeah, there was that one guy that ran by, just like Tango down.
Oh yeah,
It's like, this dude just say Tango down, and then the entire lobby was
we kept
like,
fucking like
Tango down.
we kept vocal stimming.
That's so.
We kept vocal stimming his autism back at him, like Tango down, Tango down. We got some tangos coming up on our 6.
Have you guys seen the Only Plays one? It's like an old one, but they're playing that. I think it's Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
It's one of those like ones where you play as
so funny.
Yeah, one of those like 1v6, like one of you plays as a horror movie killer and the rest of the teenagers trying to escape. But
I hate those
one
games.
of the dudes, they joined a match and the dude was playing as like Jason and he's like role playing as Jason and it was the most, it's like so uncomfortable because this dude's like, you know, like he's got his fucking mic on, he's got like, it seems like he's got a voice changer filter on or whatever, and he's like, you know, following these kids around as Jason and he's like, yes, run, you can't get away from me. And like it's just that.
It's like one of those ones where after you record it, you like almost feel like, is it
you feel this wash
is it
down
okay
the
to
back.
publish this about? Like, is it okay?
Yeah, my
like,
bullying.
this is
an
obviously this
autistic
guy's
person.
most embarrassing moment, and he didn't know he was being recorded. Like, it's you know, it's different than usual. It's like, oh fuck, can I publish this without it feeling like targeted?
That's why it's so hard going on. Like I love GTA RP. Like that shit is so much fun. Just the fucking freedom you can have on there. But I can't play it because like the people on there take it so serious, and I can't help but just fuck with them. Like the dudes who are like playing fucking like the dudes who are like playing State Troopers, and they're clearly fucking like failed ROTC.
Dude,
kids
anybody playing
a
cop in GTA.
And like you, like
you can't even make it to the. It's so easy to be a real cop.
Exactly.
And they give you a real guy. You have to do this shit online.
Yeah, it sucks because like it's so much fun, but then like you have people like that who, if you like fucking run a red light, it's GTA, it's a video game, or if you like, you know, you crash into a pedestrian, they like pull you. I get it, it's RP, but then like
and they know like the actual call signs and everything. Like they're invested in this shit. Like they're fucking they're doing this like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah, they'll ban you like if you don't play along, and it's just like, man, fuck you.
I think that's all of our instincts. Like. Me and Andrew would one of our D&D campaigns. It was with a lot of people. Like everyone would like, you know, was like a somewhat funny guy, but me and Andrew just couldn't help it like in any moment, but to just be the
impossible.
Butt of like it's just they're just tossing emotional softballs at us, and we're hitting them with like wiffle ball bats and that like make squeak noises and shit. Like we couldn't resist it.
It was also I think he had just started streaming some of them to like a couple of people, and I think one of the first big blow-ups was on a stream, and it was because I genuinely don't remember what happened, but we were both in tears over some bit, and he fully crashed out.
Yeah. And it's like you can't put 2 quirked up white boys on stream and not have us go fucking goof mode.
Yeah,
we can't help it.
It was a full GM crash out.
That reminds me of when I started D&D, or not even D&D. I remember back in university, I was like, I'm gonna try role playing games. I've never like had a group to do that with, and I've like, you know, I'm in university. I've met a bunch of nerdy friends. Like let's all, you know, do this. So it was like my friend's girlfriend's like sister's boyfriend like was like this dude who was like, I'll run a campaign for you, which is like this real tenuous relationship. He was like 8 years older than us, you know, we're like 20, 21, we're just like fucking idiots who just want to like get drunk and fuck around, but we were keen to learn, and we played this. I can't remember what it was. I wish I could remember. It wasn't D&D, but it was like another similar RPG system. And the first session we did, we're like this. He just taught us the basics, and it was like he just made up some kind of system. It was like you had like 5 stats, you had to roll a dice, and there was like, you know, if you roll a strength check, you've got +1 or whatever. It was like the most bare bones D&D shit ever. But it was fun. It was just to teach us like how you interact and how dice rolling works and shit like that. And then he's like, "Cool, you guys did great in that first session. Let's start an actual campaign with this the most complex like system you've ever played in your life." Where there's like it took us like 4 hours to make our characters.
And this is my world that I've been building since I was 4 years old. The NPCs in this world mean more to me than my parents. Do not fuck this up.
No, dude, literally, it was that kind of shit.
Old brother, like, are we?
we just wanted a casual, like we're like us, like it was just all my friends are like you guys, and we're just kind of, you know, we want to get into it, but like we're also just goofballs who want to fuck around and like have a silly time. And so this dude makes us make like these super complex characters. We have to like pick your fucking like star sign and all this other bullshit. And then we get into it, and like I'm
a rising penis Scorpio.
They brought he brought another guy in who was this guy named actually I probably shouldn't say his real name. Anyway, this guy was literally the largest man I've ever seen in my life, and he showed up with a bunch of champagne, ham, cheese, and bread for us to enjoy, and we were like, "No, man, that's all good. You
that
can
guy kicks ass. What the?
I mean,
what a gentleman! What the fuck?"
But it was
pulls up with the ham, cheese, and champagne for D&D.
No, champagne ham.
board.
It's different.
Oh, champagne ham. Okay.
Yeah, so he just wanted us to make ham and cheese sandwiches as a snack, I guess. I don't know. But then halfway through,
That's beautiful.
Halfway through, he gets up to go and take a shit. Again, this isn't like our friend's apartment. This isn't like his or his friend apartment. It's like they came to one of our apartments, and he's in there for so long that we're like, is he all good? And his friend has to go and check on him to be like, hey man, are you like knocks on the door, like, you're good? And he's like, oh yeah, so I'll be out soon. And he was taking a shit in there for so long, and I guess because he was a large guy, I guess his diet wasn't very good, and it stunk out the entire lounge when we were playing.
Holy shit!
So bad.
Holy fuck!
On top of that, it was like the guy running it, just like we were fucking around trying to have fun, like be joking, and this guy wanted us to take it hyper serious, and we just didn't, and we had like a big like blowout at the end of the session, and we never did it again. So anyway, that was my exciting first RP.
Gassed the entire group.
Dude,
and
he did poison damage
to a frenzy against each other. Yeah. It's a frenzy.
I'd see him round Wellington after that because he's hard to miss, I guess, and I'd just always be like, there he is.
There he is.
The ham and cheese and feces demon.
The smell man.
Ham, cheese, and feces demon.
The cheesies.
The ham cheesies.
Yeah, you got the cheesies on deck.
I think I remember. So me and Andrew, we were playing on Tabletop Simulator on Steam, and this is like 2021 or 2020 even.
It might have been 2020.
It wasn't very. The game wasn't the like simulator itself wasn't very well made for D&D yet, which is since then has become like one of the staple things that the thing is used for. So me and Andrew would like while other people are taking their turns and the DM's talking and shit, we would be like picking up like little like outcroppings of the map, like the rocks and the walls and stuff, and just like rearrange.
You're like an Enderman.
Yeah, just like moving like characters that we aren't supposed to be able to see because they're like in another part of the dungeon, like reorganizing shit and making like penises out of rocks and stuff.
Can he see who's doing it?
He's fully seeing this and trying to focus on like whatever spiel he's giving, and me and Andrew just can't help it. We're just fucking rearranging the entire playboard, and he's trying to ignore us.
And unlike other D&D systems where the dice only comes out to like when you hit a button.
Oh my god!
Everybody's dice is there the whole time. So me and James would just steal people's dice from the board and move them. So then they go to roll immediately after, be like, "Where the fuck is my dice?"
Yeah, we would. You could spawn like millions of dice too. So me and Andrew would spawn in like 400 D20. Like you would type in a command and it would spawn a mountain of D20s on the table. And we'd spawn it like above, like 4 inches above this table, and it would just like fucking cascade over and knock the whole fucking table over. Yeah, and it would like crash somebody's piece of shit fucking Google laptop.
Yeah. So you know what a good bit to do is, and those of you listening at home, I highly recommend you trying this, but like go find, like just go on Twitch and find like a random like low viewer streamer who's playing Jackbox, and normally like they'll welcome people like just join the game. And I remember I joined this guy's game and like
write the N-word.
It was you could do that. No, it was he was playing what is it? Is it Drawful, where you could like draw your own fucking avatar that pops in? So I joined his game of Drawful. And so when it came time to like draw my avatar, I was really proud of this, dude. I drew a perfectly like hyper realistic goatsy. So it's just like a guy bending over, spreading his asshole with his like balls and penis like popping out. So when my icon pops up, it's just this hyper realistic fucking gaped asshole.
Can we do that sometime? Can we like stream that and we just we do it with our patrons
That'd be
or something? That sounds
awesome.
so fun. Find small streamers playing Jackbox and fuck with them.
Yeah, like exactly. Like not even like harass them or do anything like to make them feel like we're trying to get their goat, but just no pun intended. But just fucking just show up and like participate in their game and give them something to stream, but also just fucking.
It'd be funny if we had a good amount of us in the like in our audience watching it, and we purposely voted for the least funny option every time, so that they just think they're bombing, even though they're like actually way funny.
Yeah,
that's so cruel. And obviously, if any of our fucking things pop up, immediate 100% votes.
Even if it's like the answer just has nothing to do with what the prompt is.
Yeah, just make.
And then we kill. Kill the streamer.
And then
we kill the streamer.
We report them for having lewd images from Doplex's goatsy profile picture.
And then we find where they live and we like Ferris Bueller Day Off their next stream.
Yeah.
And we make their dead corpse goatsy.
And we upload
Weekend at Goatsy.
We send him a flash drive, tell him to plug it in on stream, and it's just child. And we call it.
And it auto plays. Yeah. Anyway, that's about to get.
Anyway, that's about it. See ya.